Hello everybody, how are you doing today? I am dropping in to talk to you about ordinary everyday courage. I meet people every day who show a level of courage in their lives that's really inspiring. And I suspect a lot of us are doing this on a daily basis. We just don't recognise it. We don't recognise that sometimes being brave enough to speak to a loved one about the impact they're having on our lives, or being brave enough to hold our values, to stand up for ourselves, to have self-respect and hold our boundaries when somebody is acting in a way that we don't agree with. There are so many things that involve everyday ordinary courage. For instance, going on the first date after a long time, that can take a lot of courage. Going for a job interview, that can take a lot of courage. Ending a relationship that's not right for you, that can take a lot of courage. Deciding to do a course because you want to retrain and qualify and do something else, that can take a tremendous amount of courage. But we take for granted that we have ourselves do these things, and we take for granted that everyone else is doing it, and if we feel fearful, nervous or anxious, we're the only ones. No one else is doing it. Sometimes it takes courage to fall in love again. Sometimes it takes courage for some people to leave the house. There's all sorts of ordinary, everyday examples of courage that I see. Now for me, courage is not about bravery. Courage is about facing our fears. Courage is about mastering our emotional selves and understanding the feelings that we experience when we're not feeling courageous, when we are anxious or fearful about what will happen if I do this. The what if fears can become quite compelling, and they can have us worrying about a future that becomes a fiction. It's just not real. Our worries can take our imagination off in a direction that blows things out of proportion and keeps fueling the sense of fear or self-doubt, or fueling fears of I'm not good enough or lovable enough, or I'm not worthy or I'm not capable enough. Now, all of these things are what I call fictions. They're not true. They're limiting beliefs, and they can come from emotions like a fear or anxiety. So I just posted on Instagram this proverb that says fear and courage are brothers, and I think they are. I think they are two sides of the same coin, that actually you need to have experienced one to know that you've got the other. You need to have experienced a little bit of fear to dig deep and find the ordinary everyday courage you need to move yourself towards your goals, to improve your relationships, to change jobs, to believe in yourself more, to find a way to boost your confidence and self-esteem. All of these things are examples of ordinary everyday courage that make a positive impact on the quality of your life and a positive impact on the actions and the things you're willing to do to improve your life. Now, Mary Oliver wrote this poem that I love. It's called A Summer's Day, and my favourite line in it is, "What will you do with your one wild and precious life?" Now, that's the energy I have to draw on sometimes to remind myself to be courageous, to remind myself to do the things I want to do in my life, to raise my children the way I want to have the career and relationships that I want to have, to be the public speaker that I am. All of those things haven't come naturally and easily. Actually, I used to be terrified of public speaking. I was the person at university that would really never wanted to volunteer to do the presentation or the talk on the subject that we had to deliver. So here's the thing. Even if you don't believe it yet, but there's one thing you want to do with your wild and precious life, that if you had the courage to do it, you would go and do it, to enhance your life. Think about that one thing and forget about how you're going to get there, because that can take your mind off in another version of events and stories. The way that you first of all begin to take the courage and make changes in your life is start to see yourself with that courage. What will you look like, sound like, and feel like when you are a little bit more courageous in the direction of something you want, whatever the goal is, whether it's improving relationships, career, whatever it is. And I want you to just mentally rehearse that regularly. See yourself with lots and lots of courage. See yourself believing in yourself. See yourself with more confidence. What do you sound like and look like when you're like that? So that's all you have to do in the first step of connecting with the energy of courage that can move you towards or in the direction that you want to move into. So let go of the fear of how you're going to get there and focus your energy and effort on developing that little seed of courage and allowing it to grow and blossom. So see yourself in a month, 6 months, next week with more courage, the right kind of ordinary, everyday courage that will help you make a change in your life that you know you're going to be so glad that you made that change. So I'm going to continue posting on the theme of courage. I've delivered at a conference last week talking about courageous conversations. So in the next 4 or 5 posts here, I will take you into the top tips on how to be more courageous. And tomorrow I'll pop out a blog on my first set of 5 top tips to draw on ordinary everyday courage to change your life, to transform your results, to boost your confidence and inspire yourself. So look out for that blog tomorrow, and I will be back here soon with more top tips and information on how to have ordinary everyday courage to make the changes in your life that are going to make a whole lot of difference for you. So bye for now, and start thinking about what you will look like, sound like, and feel like as you grow your courage, your ordinary everyday spark of drive and energy towards the life, that one wild, precious life that you want to make the most of. Bye for now.